Now at this point, you guys know us as the guys who rank everything. So many rankings, we kind of lost count and we can't keep track anymore. That we forgot to really rank the Tier 3 Junior A hockey leagues, the Junior B leagues, and the Junior C league. What's going on, guys? This is Braden from Advancement Hockey Advising here. Today, we'll be ranking the Tier 3 Junior A, the Junior B, and the Junior C leagues here in terms of where they stand with one another. Now at this point, you guys know us as the guys who rank everything, right? When it comes to hockey, we rank the junior leagues, we rank the NCAA programs, we rank the junior programs, we rank the pro leagues. We do so many rankings, we kind of lost count and we can't keep track anymore. But somehow it's come to our attention, a couple of you guys pointed it out to us, that we forgot to really rank the Tier 3 Junior A hockey leagues, the Junior B leagues, and the Junior C league. We have actually quite a few comments that came to our attention. We have some emails of guys giving suggestions of us trying to do this. And finally, we're here, we're gonna answer your prayers. We're gonna tackle this topic, see how it all kind of blends together, and we're gonna give you guys the advice here and the ranking of how it all kind of fits together. So before we dive into that though, as always, what would an AHA video be without me asking you to absolutely destroy that like button? And if you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss another video moving forward. With that spiel out of the way, let's dive right into the rankings here. All right, so number one on our list here, we have the EHL. I think this is a pretty clear-cut decision that can't really be argued. The EHL has the most NCAA D3 commits per capita when it comes to Tier 3 Junior A hockey, Junior B, or Junior C hockey. Case closed. There's no other league that really comes close. There may be a few others that somewhat have some good commits I can maybe compare with it, but the EHL by far outranks all the other leagues in terms of NCAA D3 commits per capita. It's not necessarily the strongest hockey, as we'll see. The second one on our list, we have some teams that actually have stronger caliber compared to the EHL, but overall in terms of commit, the EHL is the best way to go, and you're usually pretty sure to get NCAA D3 commit if you're a good player in that league. Number two on our list, we have the GOJHL in the Toronto area. So this league is actually labeled Junior B, but in my opinion, it's not really considered Junior B, and a lot of other people hold that opinion too. This league is actually quite strong. The top leagues, or the top teams I would say, are very, very strong. Like the top 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 teams are always very strong each year. They get some really good players going there, and the caliber is intense to the point where they could compete with some really good Junior A programs. So this league's nothing to scoff at. The caliber overall on average, it's tough to compare to the EHL because the EHL is a smaller league, but the top teams would definitely be top teams in the EHL. So the caliber is good. Now, when it comes to NCAA D3 commits, there are some, there's not that many, but there's a reason for this, because a lot of players that come to this league, especially the top teams, they've either played major junior or they've played really good Junior A, and they're coming to these teams because they're getting paid and they're going to school at the same time in Canada. So that's a reason why a lot of NCAA D3 commits don't really come out of that league, but there are some that do come out, and it's a league worth going to if you think you can go on a really good team. If you think you might get scouted from it, you might do well and play well on that team, and it's not that expensive too. That might make more sense than going to pay a lot of money to an EHL team that might not be as good in caliber. So it's a tough one. It's tough to decide between the EHL and the GOJHL. Most times, often than not, I tell players to go the EHL unless they have an offer with a really top team in the GOJHL. But overall, really solid league. Number 3 on our list, we have the USPHL Premier, and I know you NAA3HL lovers, you guys are gonna hate me for this, but I have to put this league as a slight edge over the NA3HL, and here's why. The USPHL Premier, the top teams, they actually have a decent amount of NCAA D3 move-ons or top-end ACHA D1 advancements. So the top teams actually do quite well in this league. Unfortunately though, with this league is that it's very, very big, so because of this, it's quite watered down. The top teams move on players to NCAA D3 and ACHA D1 pretty well, but the bottom teams not so much, okay? So that's where you can't really compare it to a league like the EHL, for example. But it still does a decent job. It's still a decent spot to go to, and oftentimes you have some exposure to NCDC, albeit, most players don't move on from the USPHL to the NCDC. It's only a fraction that do. So don't always fall for that trick there. It's a common trick that they play with along with other leagues as well. But it does give you some exposure. If you're on a good team, you can advance to NCAA D3. It's a decent spot overall. That's why it's ranked at number 3. Moving on to number 4 on our list is the NA3HL. And again, I know you guys are going to hate me for this, for ranking it under the USPHL Premier. But the reason why is I dug into the data data, and per capita, the top teams move on a little bit less to NCAA D3 and ACHA D1 than the top teams in the USPHL Premier. It's quite close, and they're really like a 3A, 3B. It's really neck and neck. But if I had to choose, I choose a top team in the USPHL Premier over a top team in the NA3HL. Granted, ice time, cost, and all that are the same, okay? But it's really splitting hairs, and these guys are really close. So please, keyboard warriors, don't come at me too much here. Like the USPHL Premier, you do get some exposure. Let's say if you're with a good team in the NA3HL and they have a NAHL team, you know, you actually do get some exposure to the NAHL team. But again, it's very rare that players advance from tier 3 to tier 2 like that directly from team to team, especially because NA3HL is a huge jump from the NA. So it's very, very rare that players advance. Don't let them sell you that card too often, but it does happen, and I have to mention it. All right, so number 5 on our list here, we got the North American Hockey Association, otherwise known as the NHLPA. Now, we made a full video on this league about, you know, a couple months ago or something like this. Once this video is going to be published, you could find it right here if you want more info specific on that league. But overall, since I published that video, I've kind of changed my tune a little bit. They don't really have a website set up yet. It's really at the time of this recording. Right now, as I'm recording, it's September 18th, 2023. At the time of this recording, still no website, still unsure what's going on really. So by the time this is published, there might be more info, but as of now, it's hard for me to really rank this league any higher than it is. And actually, I could rank it lower based on how it's going, but right now I really don't like where the things are heading because there's so much uncertainty here. Nobody knows if it's actually going to run or not. Nobody knows what's going on. So it's a little bit tough, but hopefully they turn it around. I think this league has potential if they get their stuff together and if they actually act as a junior prep and feed to the CCHL. It could be a decent spot to go to in the future, but it has to be run properly. And right now I'm not really seeing that. So I'm ranking at number 5, and it could easily drop down by the time this video is published here. Number 6 on my list here is all the junior B leagues in Canada except for the GOJHL. There's a reason why I'm lumping them all together, because although there is slight nuance between all these different leagues, they're all pretty much very similar. Teams, you know, practice once or twice a week for the most part, not all of them. Some of them practice more, but there's usually not all that much practicing. The caliber is so, you know, from league by league. Some are a bit stronger than others, but they're so similar that it's just not worth separating, okay? They're very, very similar, and I think just lumping them all together makes the most sense. Attached here, there's gonna be a screenshot as you guys are watching this video of all the different junior B leagues that exist in Canada. There's a ton of them, and they're all very similar, so we're lumping them all together. I think, last point here, that it's under the NHLPA, because if the NHLPA does succeed, okay, let's say it does actually take off and do well, teams will be practicing more, it'll be slightly more of a competitive environment, I think, than the other junior B leagues in Canada. It could be a controversial opinion. By the time this video is published, maybe it's completely different. I'm totally wrong here, but that's what I'm speculating as of the time of this recording. And last but not least, at number 7 here, we have the GMHL and other junior C leagues in Canada. Now, I know for a fact that GMHL is going to come after me for ranking them with junior C hockey teams and hockey leagues, but unfortunately, I think it's just the truth. When you look at the caliber, when you look at the advancement to either pro, NCAA, even ACHA, any advancement whatsoever, it's almost non-existent with these leagues. Usually the players that play in these leagues kind of just ended there. A few might advance, but it's really not much. And this is me just be honest with you guys and telling you guys the truth. When a player approaches me, asks me about the GMHL or any junior C league, I always tell them it's a last resort opportunity. Probably best to look for other options elsewhere. We could actually probably help them, you know, even just put them in touch with someone who can give them a better option. It's always best to explore elsewhere. And if you really have nothing else, okay, you can take it to have a spot to play that year. But honestly, it's really not the place to go, in my opinion, to advance to either NCAA hockey, pro hockey, any kind of hockey whatsoever after junior. I would say you're best to go elsewhere. All right, guys, that is it. Here's a recap of the rankings of the Tier 3 Junior A, the Junior B, and the Junior C hockey leagues. So we have number 1, the EHL. Number 2, we have the GOJHL. Number 3, we have the USPHL Premier. Number 4, we have the NA3HL. Number 5, we have the NHLPA in Ontario. Number 6, we have junior B leagues all across Canada except for the GOJHL. And number 7, we have the GMHL plus all the other junior C leagues in Canada. All right, guys, that is it for the video. Drop a like if you haven't already. And if you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss another video moving forward. Hope you guys got a lot of value out of it. Honestly, a ton of time and research went into this video here. So hopefully you have a better understanding as to how the Tier 3 Junior A, the Junior B, and the Junior C hockey leagues work. If you guys did like this video, absolutely destroy that like button. If you have any questions for us, anything whatsoever, either drop a comment down below or send us an email at info@ahadvising.com and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on that next one.